Back at 2010 PAC KOTESOL International Conference. For years, I've heard about this Stoakley character. Anytime anything geeky comes up, website related, there's Stoakley. And at last, I finally meet him face to face. Brian Stoakley, great to meet you.
Shalom, left-handed. Okay.
So, what is your role in KOTESOL?
I am currently the National Webmaster and Web Services Chair. So basically it's one and the same, just one is the official mode and the other one is the slave mode. Oh wait, no, they're both slave mode. Okay. I forgot. Okay.
Get that clear. How long have you done that?
I have been webmaster in KOTESOL for about 3 years now, but as National Webmaster, I think a year and change, about a year, I guess.
How long have you been in Korea?
Back and forth. I came in 1997. And then spent about 5 years here. Unhappy with education, went back to the States, started master's, finished master's, started PhD. Wife and I came back, and so we came back here 3.5 years ago.
Were you involved in the KOTESOL web stuff in the old days?
No, I was not, luckily.
Okay. All right, so you came back. First of all, why did you volunteer?
What happened is that when I was back in the States, I had got my master's in TESOL, so they said join Sunshine State TESOL, so I did that and found it a lot of fun. So when we came back to Korea, it was just the natural thing for me to do, get back into it. Luckily, or coincidentally, my office neighbor was the chapter or incoming chapter president of our thing, so he said, we need a webmaster, can you help us out? I said, sure, why not? What is it? He says, I don't know, we'll find out, and lo and behold, Drupal. Yay! So, and that's where it started. And then just by Joshua, me helping them out, I became International Conference Chair, Webmaster for maybe 2 or 3 years. And so by doing that, I knew Joshua very well. And he says, hey, I'm leaving. Do you want to take over? I said, fine, I'll take over the reins. So.
Okay, so where were things at when you took over the reins? Where are they now, and where are they headed?
Oh, loaded question 2.0. When we came in, we were on Drupal 4.7.
And we should mention Drupal.
Oh, Drupal.
Now, you say Drupal, I say Drupal.
Drupal's the correct pronunciation. I can't fix it. He's correct. I'm incorrect. Drupal. Drupal is a free service for making websites that is from a community of professionals working to make things free and accessible. Consider it open office for websites. It's to stick it to the man that we can offer things for free.
It's an awesome open source content management system with a great support community behind it. It's
Fortune 500 companies use it. Harvard uses it. So
KOTESOL uses it. KoreaBridge uses it.
And we're better than Harvard. So.
All right. So okay, you inherited this website based on Drupal.
And Drupal we had was 4.7, which is an old version, very limited, very limited, we'll leave it at that. We had a lot of problems with upgrading it, and a year ago we were trying to upgrade it to 5.0 or 5.2, but it was a huge jump. It was, imagine going from like Windows 95 to Windows XP. It was just a huge jump from there, and now we even made a further jump to try to go to 7, which is going to Windows 7. So
this is very back-end geeky talk. And
geeky stuff.
Don't press the pause button, the back button.
We'll edit that part out.
But from a user's perspective,
okay, yeah.
Where was it, and where's it going?
Fine, we'll go back that way. Basically, as we all know, the current website as what you would have seen before with I don't know what we call those mountains, with the tombs of past kings and whomever, royalty. The site was very unfriendly. Finding anything was near impossible. You'd have to go through 20 different clicks to find something. We had a lot of error messages. Trying to enroll and stuff, we'd get a lot of access denied, other issues of failed things. So
now, I remember KOTESOL site back in the 90s.
Yes.
And there was no login or anything like that. Where was it, or where is it now as far as people can register? What can they do on the site?
We can register, we can get in, we can join groups, we can join discussions. We actually have a new site, which everyone's familiar with, Dave's ESL, so along those lines, that they're able to log in and have threaded chats. We actually have that for KOTESOL now. I built that last year, but it's not live, as we've yet to decide on who's going to moderate that, and are we going to allow companies to get in.
That's a big, huge step, I think, to take, because right now there are no forums.
Well, there is.
There are forums.
They're just locked.
Okay, they're locked.
Invite only.
As far as what? Invite only?
Yes, I've made it to where you can try to register, but nothing is available to see. I have to give you permission to have access to everything.
But in terms of what most people have been doing with the KOTESOL site, there are no discussion. They haven't discussion forums.
Very few. We do have a BBS, but it's not used. It's maybe used one message every 4 months.
Okay.
So,
but if all of a sudden KOTESOL has an active discussion forum and by groups, Drupal has a really nice group functionality.
Yes, we do.
Where it would be really conducive to special
and they are
interest
integrated.
groups,
yes.
Or if people have another interest that's not necessarily an official one.
And we also have other functions such as that, as where the new one we now have Hangul ability. So we're allowed to use Korean on the site, and we're allowed to type it in and can read it, so there's no more problems with that. We also now have 2 streaming sites, Vimeo and YouTube, so we can now upload those to the site and we can still start sharing, so I have a centralized location that's there, and we now have a much more powerful shopping cart, Uber cart, yay, one cart to rule them all. And so we're able to actually have a lot more functions for you guys to purchase things in a lot greater free aspect. And so we're even toying with the idea of using credit cards.
What can people purchase on the site?
Right, and see, that's another thing for us. Membership. In the past, membership didn't have this function on the online. So now that we have a store that you would have, like such as going to Amazon, that actually have pictures. So everywhere from paraphernalia to clothes to whatever else, to even books that we might start sponsoring. So such as TESOL has a TESOL series books. We could start offering. One of the things I'm going to suggest to the council that we lower our membership rates, but offer things like the proceedings and journals and texts. Those can be purchased off the side. So if someone doesn't want to have access to those, they just want cheap annual membership, they can have that. But if they want to have those extraneous items, we can do that. Such as
Membership
TESOL.
Plus.
So TESOL says we can have 1 SIG free, any SIG thereafter $7. So why don't we do things of that nature? So this is what this site's going to allow us to have a lot more customizable features for them, as well as having a log so they can go in. And I'm hoping to have the forum up so that people can have a job site where they can go and find jobs and free of service, hopefully, that job seekers and job employers can offer these services so they don't have to worry about having to go on to Dave's and places such as that, so they can have it a much freer reign of finding part-time and full-time jobs in a centralized location.
Wow, those are going to be some interesting discussions as far as how to moderate forums.
Interesting
how to
is a
deal with
good
jobs.
Good adjective.
And I want to ask more about that. And first, Drupal has the ability to really restrict content to whatever groups you want. If you want a certain amount of content restricted to this group of people, no problem. What's your personal feeling on what should be open, what should be members only? And
see, that was the other thing. I'm really ambivalent. There's a lot of things. Our videos, for example, that we'll be recording today, I would like to have that on a site where it's locked to only members. However, once it's on the internet, it takes only a matter of 10 seconds for it to be thrown everywhere. So
why would you want that to be members only?
Just to have a reason why someone should be a member, to have some benefits that a non-member would have. That's the argument that they have out there. However, I said, if we hide everything, then why would someone want to become a member? It's the group workshops, the chapter workshops, the chapter outings. Like next November, November we have our chapter has a Thanksgiving dinner. That's what KOTESOL's for me. Accessing these videos, I can do that on YouTube already. I can find these out on other places. That's not a problem. So why shouldn't they be able to do that on KOTESOL's site? So,
what do you think about forums?
Forums should be open fully. There can be a group one now. Chapters might want to have their stuff private. They might want to have certain parts private, such as discussing their chapter meetings. Discussing what prices do they want to offer things. But as long as they can have the option, they have their autonomy to choose what they want private, what they want public. The council meetings, council discussions should be open to the public to read, but not to comment on. This is just like a chapter meeting. Robert's Rules of Order, they have to be granted the floor to talk, so same idea. They would have to be granted permission to talk through a moderator, say that yes, they could conduct or could question the council on a certain topic. But regarding anything with just general chats or, like, say, companies coming in, I am a huge advocate of everything being free and just letting everybody have access to it just like anywhere else.
So this new generation of site is ready.
It's ready.
But it's not online or available yet.
It's not online. We had to wait till after this conference to make sure there were no hiccups. We didn't want to ruin this big site. So it's the idea that in December, when we have our next leadership retreat, I'm inviting all the webmasters in, giving them training on how to use the new site. So
So
it's there.
When are you anticipating going live?
I'm wanting it January 1st next year. So January 1st, 2011 is the ideal date that we start through and go through.
Anything else on the horizon? Because you're not just the website guy, you're the web services guy. Any other?
So there's pretty much anything we can do. Anything that's related to the web. So if we wanted to make videos, if we wanted to make something interactive, if we wanted to start trying to do some blended meetings, so that if we wanted to have some online meetings, everything from having I forgot the word now. The company where we can have access to the computer and you can see what I'm doing on the computer and talking. Oh, I just blanked out the name.
Like a GoToMeeting or
like a GoToMeeting, sure enough. So it's one of those, we can have access for all of KOTESOL, so and any KOTESOL member, so if they wanted to have their little meetings, but through video camera, so let's say a Skype, but 50 people can join in, this is another option that we're looking into buying an annual subscription to.
You know, I was thinking about that when we had our webcast a couple weeks ago for the election. And someone was saying, you know, where are the minutes to the meeting?
Yeah, I posted them, by the way. Sorry, Demetra.
I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to be able to watch the meeting live?
Yes.
Or even save KOTESOL a little bit of money because officers are all around the peninsula.
And that's why I've pushed for it, and I just blanked out the name of it. But we have it. We've actually used it, and it's for the free 30-day version, and I said this is fine. The audio wasn't so
like
good.
Adobe Connect or something like that.
Something it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like Dodo or Didi or Dim. That's it.
Oh,
so Dodo, Didi. Okay, we knew we'd get there. Dim. But Dim right now the sound wasn't so good, so we paired it up with Skype audio, and we're able to see videos and see that stuff. So something along those lines. That's what I do want for us to not to have all these meetings going back and forth and all the travel. So I see it as a win-win for us.
All right. Any plans to step away from web leadership, or you're stuck with it for a while?
Every morning, my wife reminds me. Yes, it's about 300 hours I've lost with my son. I have promised our president that I will not leave until everything is hunky-dory and we have someone that is capable to take over the reins.
Which means I will never leave.
Probably.
All right.
Joshua Davies will come back. I'll convince him. All right.
You guys should take turns. Anything else we should know about web stuff?
No, but expect a lot of things to change, and the website will be much more manageable and much nicer. And so, should you have any wishes and wants to make it nicer, and new gadgets, new toys, do send me emails. I'll have a nice contact me up on there. So I will peruse the modules that we have on the Drupal site, and there are a gazillion of them. And as 6 becomes more stable, there will be more and more out there for us for a good 3 years to come.
Maybe we should tape another segment now just on Drupal for those of you who are getting excited about our Geek Talk.
Lullaboot. So.
All right, thank you very much,
Cheers.
Brian.
Thank you. Bye-bye.